They figured out real quickly, once they talked to Maxwell, that, you know what, we don't have anything. We need to beef this up. We don't have anything. And even though it's been 3 years, they still don't have anything. And 17 lawyers over there working since May, $500 an hour for each of them. Hundreds of thousands of dollars wasted, taxpayer money wasted, and they still don't have anything. How did this happen? Well, they made some assumptions, and then they figured out they had no evidence, and it was too late to turn back. Recall that one of the witnesses said, well, once we went to the FBI, we were signing our death warrant. Rightly so. You go to the authorities with no evidence and accuse your boss of a crime, and there has been no crime, and there's been no evidence of any crime, and it's all a bunch of supposition and guesswork. Rightly so. And so they took a long walk on a short pier. The House managers did the same. The House managers did the same. They, in a 4-hour hearing, decided to impeach the Attorney General of the state of Texas, and then they spent months and months trying to collect evidence to support it, and they did not. They failed. And then the lobbyists got involved. The text of support. TLR, yeah, we were against Ken, but we spent $6 million against Ken Paxton. We couldn't beat him at the ballot box. Maybe we can beat him. Maybe we can beat him in an impeachment trial. George P. Bush decided, let me re-up my law license because maybe I can be the Attorney General now. I couldn't beat him in a fair fight. Maybe I can beat him here. And every one of these so-called whistleblowers, which are nothing but disgruntled ex-staffers, they all hired the same lawyer who just happens to be in the Ashcroft law firm, who just happens to be a protege of the Bush regime. The Bush era ends today in the state of Texas. I'm asking you to agree with the 4.2 million Texans who put this man in office as Attorney General to put this man back to work and vote not guilty.
Wow. I mean, that was, for me, without question, the single most riveting courtroom scene ever. I mean, I'm no legal expert, but that was legal drama on steroids. That was the amazing Tony Busby, the lawyer for Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, an ultra-MAGA patriot who's subjected to yet more weaponized legalism, more lawfare, but this time at the hands of his fellow Republicans, the George Bush, Karl Rove wing of the Republican Party that has just officially imploded. It's dead, and we're here to celebrate. Hey, gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your Patriot Professor, here to help you think better so you can feel better in these crazy and turbulent times. So if you've already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. Also, make sure to share this video with friends and family if you'd be so kind. We are once again being suppressed by big tech, so I need your help to get the hopeful message of this channel out to as many people as possible. The Ken Paxton Senate trial in Texas is finally over. As many of you know, back in May, Attorney General Paxton was shamelessly impeached by the Texas House in one of the most impulsive, repulsive impeachments imaginable. There was no investigation. There was no prerequisite impeachment inquiry. It was a shock impeachment that took just 2 days to pass, with enough Republicans voting with Texas Democrats to put their pro-Trump Attorney General on trial in the Senate for supposed bribery and fraud and political retribution. It just so happens that those charges were brought against Paxton after he started investigating, well, what do you know, the FBI for, well, what do you know, corruption. And as many of you have guessed, the case against Paxton was an absolute farce. It was beyond a joke. They literally had no case. There was no evidence whatsoever of any wrongdoing on his part. None. Zippo. That impeachment by the Texas State House over Memorial Day weekend was based entirely on hearsay and innuendo. There was not a shred of actual evidence of any crime committed whatsoever by Paxton. And his attorneys all last week during the Senate trial put on a masterclass of deconstructing fake charges devoid of any semblance of evidence. And in the end, all but 2 Texas Senate Republicans voted to acquit Paxton on all 16 sham charges. Texas Senators Kelly Hancock and Robert Nichols were the 2 backstabbers who voted to convict. They were the Romney-Cheney duo that did the bidding of Karl Rove and tried to destroy America's most amazing attorney general. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, who presided over the Senate trial, has promised a full investigation into what really happened in the Texas House with an impeachment sham that so colossally imploded in the Senate. And that's not the only thing that imploded over the weekend. As you heard at the beginning, something far more significant came tumbling down as well. But first, how many UFC fans do we have out there? We know the one and only Donald J. Trump is a huge UFC fan, as are the fighters of him. But have you ever wondered what they do to manage their pain? Well, you don't have to, because a fellow patriot and good friend of this channel is precisely the one who provides relief to that pain, and he's here to do the same for you. Again, you know, as we age, aches, pains, they're normal, but they don't have to be, and that's where the groundbreaking medical scientist Clint Winters comes in. Now, you've seen Clint on Fox. You've seen him several times on this channel. He's a world-renowned health expert who's unveiled a natural pain reliever that's taking the world by storm. It's called CB2. It's the 100% drug-free way to get full-body pain relief without dangerous meds. And it is the official pain reliever for the fighters in the UFC. And the best news is CB2 has no documented side effects after years of private testing. It's absolutely the future of pain relief. So whatever you do, gang, make sure to click on that link below right now and check out Clint's amazingly informative report on how CB2 is changing lives by providing safe and powerful relief at a fraction of the cost of pain pills. Click on that link below right now. Cat Turd said it best, as he always does. Good morning, and big shout out to the neocon Bush family and Karl Rove for their embarrassing failed coup of AG Ken Paxton in Texas. And that's really ultimately what we saw over the weekend. The Bush dynasty that defined the Texas Republican Party for a generation has finally come to an end. Now, we got a foretaste of that back in 2022 when Paxton defeated George P. Bush for the Republican nomination for Attorney General. In fact, Paxton didn't just defeat Bush in the primary, he slaughtered him. Paxton is very, very popular among Texans. He's a good conservative Christian guy, and he stomped George P. Bush, who challenged him for the nomination back in 2022. The decision desk called the contest in just 40 minutes after polls closed. I mean, it was that much of a blowout. So Paxton committed the unpardonable sin among the ruling elite in Texas. He politically killed off the last Bush in power in Texas. And so ever since, the whole Bush establishment, with Karl Rove right at the center, writing his pathetic donor-class drivel for the Wall Street Journal, all of them have been out to destroy Paxton and show the Texas powers that be, particularly the oil and energy powers, that they are still very much in charge. And of course, as always, they teamed up with the Democrats to do it. Well, I'm ecstatic to announce that those days are officially over. Paxton's acquittal demonstrates that the Bush-Rove wing of the party has largely lost its ability to coerce and dictate the Texas GOP. With the political implosion of Liz Cheney, Mitt Romney, and now the Bush-led Texas GOP, we really are seeing the official end of the rhino neocon Republican. God bless the fully acquitted Ken Paxton, and God bless the new MAGA GOP. Are you ready to join the resistance? Because I'm leading a group of dedicated, courageous patriots who can lead a spearhead into the heart of the secular globalist establishment. We punished Bud Light and Target, driven CNN and the legacy media to near bankruptcy, forced BlackRock to backtrack on ESG, and now we're seeing our conservative-dominated Supreme Court ending affirmative action and protecting religious liberty. In my Insiders Club, I show you concrete steps to take locally and online that will only keep this mass uprising going until the battle is won. Don't wait. Click the link in my description below and join my Courageous Patriots Insiders Club today.